Hello everyone, welcome to the Obelisk Lounge. My name is Justice and I am back with a reading on, as you all can tell by the thumbnail, Aaliyah, the wonderful songstress and beautiful entertainer from the 1990s and the early 2000s that I'm sure if y'all are watching, since y'all clicked on this video, you all already know all of those wonderful things about her. A subscriber requested this reading about 3 months ago, and so I'm just now finally getting around to doing it. Today is or tonight rather is Monday, January 13th, and it is 6:17 p.m. Central Time. But I'm going to be getting into this reading. I'm going to start out with a I actually kind of didn't know how I wanted to start this reading off. I'm going to actually I would usually, when I do my celebrity readings, I like to start off with character and personality analysis of the person, but I feel like we kind of already know what her personality and things like that were like. So I'm going to go ahead and start off the reading with what was going through her mind leading up to her untimely demise. My subscriber, and actually shout out to that subscriber that suggested this reading, Spirit Rodeo. And so finally getting around to it for your girl. But and then I was on the phone with my sister earlier today, and so she added some additional interesting questions that I was like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and get this reading done tonight then and get it posted for you guys to look at on Tuesday. So I'm starting out with yeah, I want to know what was going through her mind the days leading up to her passing, because there's a lot of speculation and different things like that, how people like maybe try to like speak for her and different things like that, but I'm going to allow her just tap into the energy of her. I'm not going to be communicating with her directly. Now, normally if I was in a reading with a client, then I would be communicating with their passed on loved one or whomever that it is that they're trying to contact with personally. Before my channel, you know, just out of respect and not to like, you know, to disturb the people, I like to use intermediary to just read the energy around them and use my intermediaries to communicate with the energy of that person in that passed on state, just out of respect and also just as a preference, because this is for entertainment, but then also, you know, for us to learn from different things as well. Like with these readings that I do on the celebrities, I'm not really interested in the gossip aspect of it too much, or the salacious aspect of it too much, depending on the person and the situation. I'm more so interested in, you know, what can we all learn from it, and then also anything that it is that they may, you know, want to share, you know, or get out, you know, now that they are on the other side. But anywho, with that being said, Elevate Ancestors, what was going through Aaliyah, the singer's mind when she, the days leading up to her passing? What was going through her mind? And if y'all watch me, y'all know I always have trouble shuffling these cards. What was going through her mind, Elevate Ancestors, today leading up to her passing? Let's see, 4 more shuffles. That's 4. It's going through her mind for her passing. 2. Let's do 1 more. Days leading up to her passing. So trickster, gossip, and child divine. So I feel like as a child she had visions of like what her passing would be like. I feel like that she was a very spiritually in tune person, and so and then all of us, whether we're spiritually in tune or not, sometimes, you know, we just get glimpses of different things, you know, that haven't yet happened in our life but that will be happening in our life. And so for her, I feel like the days leading up to her passing, she was remembering a dream, you know, or a vision that she got as a child when she saw herself surrounded by water, and she always felt like that she would pass by drowning. So I feel like she also had like a strong fear of water as well. Like she felt like she was gonna pass by drowning. So the plane crash in itself, her passing in that way, was a bit of a surprise. But I'm feeling like that she also really didn't care for heights too much either. She was just, but not her entire life though. It's like, it was like an irrational fear that she developed of planes and heights. I feel like the closer the years were closing in on her passing. So it wasn't something that just was, you know, innate within her. It's just something when it comes to heights and flying that kind of developed over time. But but as you know, she was there and she was surrounded by the water. She was having visions and glimpses, you know, of remembering that childhood dream, you know, about her drowning or about her passing in a foreign place. It was very specific, this dream and things like that she had. And then she was also, I feel like maybe having some, I don't want to say psychosis, but she was having like psychosis like behavior, because she would be hearing like spiritual whisperings or spiritual utterings, you know, of different things, you know, that were transpiring. Like, I feel like her spiritual team, her spiritual court, God, Holy Spirit, whomever, was warning her about different things that may transpire on this trip. It was warning her about different people around her that it is, you know, that she could not trust. And it was also they were just also telling her, you know, to not go, you know, or to be cautious and different things like that. And I'm feeling like this was 2 weeks before she actually took the trip, and she was actually having this recurring dream from childhood up to 2 weeks before she actually took that trip, because she knew that there was a lot of negative and adversarial energy around her, a lot of just nasty trickster energy, and people that it is around her that she felt like she could not trust. I'm feeling like the only person she felt like she could trust around that time was her. And excuse me, I'm talking fast because I'm channeling the information and I need to get it all out. So slow it down or maybe speed it up or something like that if you need it, or if you need to. But I felt like the only person that she felt as though she could trust during that time was like her choreographer, like the main choreographer, because I'm singing like the main dancer, or maybe like the co-dancer or something like that. Like, that was the only person she felt like she could trust or maybe confide in at that time. But even she was still even a little bit iffy about that. And also with this trickster energy around her, it was something else that I just picked up on. Let me try to find it, what it was, like find it in my mental. What else was this about this trickster energy? Oh, she was joking around a lot, like trying to laugh off her nerves, making jokes, you know, about, you know, like her fears and different things like that, or like this weird dream, like trying to make light of the situation to kind of talk herself out of it. Gambler. Yes, she knew she was taking a risk and that she should have postponed this video, or filmed it in a different location or something like that. Child nature. This is once again going back, like she was having a lot of childhood themes come up around this time. Like just like very just strong remembrances and utterances that she had as a child coming up. What is this coming? Unsafe, unheard, unrecognized, and different things like that. Like it was like these childhood not motives, but just these childhood themes, these themes from from her childhood kept coming up. You know, the theme of feeling unsafe, the theme of feeling unheard, the theme of feeling like, something's going to happen, but she quite can't put her finger on it. I'm totally feeling like she was sensing her death, and that she maybe even had a gift of being able to sense when people were going to die. I feel like this feeling that it is that she had, it kind of threw her off a little bit, because I'm feeling like she had this same feeling when a family member of hers died as a child, and that same feeling that she sensed around that family member's death is the same feeling that it is that she is or that she was getting around her own death, but she really didn't know if she was going to be able to escape it or not, because she was just kind of, you know, with this trickster energy, you know, just kind of, you know, trying to play it off, you know, or play it cool as if, you know, she's being paranoid, you know, second guessing, you know, herself and different things like that. I also feel like she found out that somebody was stealing from her. Oh, look, the beggar card just came out. She also felt like, yeah, somebody was stealing from her, as well, you know, that she could not trust. She was having a really hard time, like I mentioned earlier, confiding in people. And she felt pressured to go ahead and do this video because I don't know if she has some debt, you know, due to somebody stealing some money from her, or misappropriating her funds and different things like that, because she was like, well, dang, we need to go ahead, you know, and wrap up this project and get it out because we're going over budget, or you know, or it's already, you know, been paid for, or I need to make money back, you know, for XYZ reasons. She had some other plans of, you know, of helping her family out and things like that as well, feeling like they can be kind of a drag. Also, some friends maybe, but like industry friends, not like friends in her personal life, were also kind of like being a drag. She felt a bit used and not heard, and like, you know, and not like she was a person. Shapeshifter. She definitely had some dark or sinister forces around her at that time. And shapeshifter energy and trickster energy are not always negative and adversarial forces. Like, I know that is a common misconception about trickster energy, you know, or shape-shifting energy. There's always, you know, a light attribute and a dark attribute to any and everything, including you watching this video. But in this regard, I'm feeling like this shapeshifter energy, it was she was having some type of hauntings and things like that as well. She was not getting a lot of sleep, so it was kind of a mixture of not getting that rest, but then also this negative adversarial forces as well. But a lot of the times, you know, when people, you know, have been hexed, you know, or cursed, or have some dark forces, you know, sent after them to you know, to trouble them, a lot of the times your sleep is impacted. And so because your sleep is impacted, you know, that can lead to psychosis and different things like that as well. But yeah, with that shapeshifter energy, she had these, like, what is this called? What is this entity called? I know most people would call it a demon, but actually it was some type of like demonic, but like a lower demonic type force, not like one that is up in hierarchy, like these little nuances, almost what do we call it? I'm trying to think of the word. Not antagonizing her, but like pulling on her energy, like kind of like annoying her and confusing her and different things like that. I also felt like she was seeing things and stuff like that as well. And with the slave card, she was just feeling, I mean, obviously I don't have to explain that, trapped, you know what I'm saying? She was feeling like she was trapped, like she really just, you know, couldn't move how it is, you know, that she wanted to, like she, you know, she wasn't able to make the decisions, you know, for her own life and her own career that it is that she wanted to. She was more so being really forced, you know, and made to do it, because she really did not want to. So even the version, you know, of her that we see, you know, in her video, and even around that time, prior to her passing, that was a facade, you know, that she was putting up. That really wasn't, you know, her and who it is, you know, that she was. Let's see what's on the bottom. Teacher. I feel like after she got back from well, if she had made it back, she was making plans to go back to church, or to revisit whatever spiritual belief system that she had as a child. She was wanting to revisit that. I feel like she was making plans to talk to a pastor or some type of spiritual advisor to get some deep healing and some deep cleansing. Maybe even like like a shaman type figure as well, to go and get some deep healing and cleansing, because she was wanting to go ahead and move in a different direction. is what I'm seeing and picking up on. But of course, we know, unfortunately, that did not happen. So let's get into, and if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video. I know sometimes y'all be forgetting, but go ahead and hit the like button, please. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get into these other questions that my subscriber suggested. Let me see, which deck do I want to use? We can use these. Un momento. I may need these just to clarify, just in case. Ooh. But one of the questions that my subscriber had, yeah, we're gonna start off with these. No, we're gonna start off to use these to clarify. Okay, one of the questions, and I'm just gonna go down the list, so some things may seem out of order because I just want to make sure that I answer all of the questions and get that information out. I'm gonna start out with, was she or her family involved in the occult, like the dark aspect of the occult? Okay, emphasis with her and her family involved in the dark side of the occult. And then she has some questions as well about the industry, but we're just gonna see what was her experience like in the industry as a whole. So let's start out with what was her spiritual background and how did that spiritual background evolve? Was she involved in the occult? It's about her background. Only 3, 2, 1. 3 of Hearts. Not by choice. I'm not saying that it's something that it is that she was really interested in, per se. I feel like there were some rituals, like minor rituals and things like that, that she participated in with this 3 of Hearts and the 6 of Hearts. I mean, I'm sorry, and the 6 of Spades, but she really was not, that wasn't her path. You know, like she really wasn't, you know, like she was around it, and there was like certain things that it is, you know, that she did do and that she maybe had to do, or felt like she had to do in different things for various reasons, but just outright, no. However, like her energy was used for occult purposes, though, even like when she was alive. Like this is like way even before, you know, her passings. I know the whole conspiracy around, you know, that, like how she was a sacrifice, and I'm going to get into that. That's one of the questions on my list, but not outright. Like her energy more so was like used in the rituals. Like she was more so of she was used as a person to siphon the energy, or the, what do we call them in Reiki? Surrogate. She was more so of like of a surrogate for the ritual. She wasn't necessarily a willing, you know, participant of it. She was initiated though into whatever type of spiritual rite that, you know, that some celebrities, you know, get into. Like I'm seeing that there's like a group, that it is some type of secret society, not like the Illuminati, not anything like that, not even like Freemasonry, anything like that. Like it's another like 3-letter organization, or like some type of Latin organization. I'm seeing some writing and some words that I really don't know what they mean. I can't really decipher them, but she was initiated into that, which I'm saying that that's something that a lot of them kind of like a celebrity boule, I guess, but not the boule. Like it's something different that is strictly for people in entertainment and people that have influence. Not even just entertainment, but just people that have influence. And so that might consist of entertainers. It greatly consists of, well, actually a lot of entertainers. And so she was initiated into that. I'm seeing like when she was maybe 15 or 16, so very young, when she had to go through that process, some type of all white ceremony. Then I'm seeing something in all red, and then something in all green, dark green, and then something in all black that it is that she had to go through, or that she opted to go through. And to answer the question, did that have some dark underlying things? Yes, it did. And when I use the word dark, I mean something that is not in alignment with one's best and highest good. Yeah, she was. Let me see, am I picking up on anything else in that regard? No. Her family, I'm feeling like, as far as her family, I'm feeling like her family, this row is speaking to her initiation into the spiritual right. So thank you, ancestors, for that confirmation. What is this one talking about? Her family, yes, her family does have a history. I feel like maybe somebody was like an Eastern Star, or somebody involved like into that side. But even, you know, contrary to popular belief, even Freemasonry, I don't think, you know, the whole conspiracy around it really is just as bad as people, you know, have made it out to be. I'm sure it has. I'm not saying that it's not totally bad, because like I said, everything has a light and dark, even Christianity, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even all of the Abrahamic religions, everything has a light and a dark. I don't care what nobody say. Okay, anytime you murdering people in the name of your religion, you know, or harshly condemning people in the name of your so-called religion, different things like that, like that's a dark attribute of the religion. You know what I'm saying? Period. So so everything has its light and dark attribute. But I'm seeing that her family, like they were initiated into, like, you know, some Freemasonry things, or more so like the Eastern Star things, like more so like her mother's lineage. They were very spiritual and magical people on her mother's side of the family. And I'm seeing that it was not all for their benefit, though. Like, it was very self-serving, the things it is that they were involved in. Was it dark? Yeah. Some of it, not all of it, but yeah, some of it, yeah, for sure. For sure. So she wasn't necessarily new to it, and I feel like her path also, before she even got here, was chosen, or maybe like right when she you know, when her mom found out she was pregnant with her, like she kind of already knew what she was gonna be up against and doing, you know, with her daughter, you know, or she already knew the path it is that she had laid out for her, you know, for her daughter. She already knew the good, the bad, and the indifferent. I feel like her mother, let me pull some cards on her mama. Tell me about her mother, elevated ancestor. What can you tell me about her mother, Aaliyah's mother? I don't know her mother's name, but her mother seems to have been the one that ran the household, and her father seemed very passive, or not as protective as he should have been or could have been. And he was absent. Tell me about her mother. Last shuffle. 4 of diamonds, 2 of hearts, and the 9 of diamonds. So her mother more so cared about family stability. I'm seeing that her mom probably was like the breadwinner, or she is the one that managed the finances of the family. Her mom was the link, I feel like, that kind of got her into the industry, or was like very what do we call it? I'm talking to y'all like y'all actually like right here in the room with me. But what do we call it? She was pushing her, like she was more so like, you know, like pushing her, you know, to become, you know, a superstar. You know, her mom did love and care about her, though. I'm not saying, you know, that she, you know, abused her or like was mean to her and different things, you know, like that. And her father also, like, he really just did not care either, or this father figure that she had. 'Cause I don't know if her father had passed or if he just was totally absent, but this father figure, it does seem like a father figure was like absent like from her life though. Even if he was there physically, he really was not there mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like he's not showing up in that regard. But from a very young age, she really did not have that much protection. She really did not have, like, they did not listen to the things that it is, that she said. They just kind of just laid out and chose her path for her. I'm feeling like she was interested, in singing, in the arts. Like she did actually enjoy those things, but I'm hearing that she was interested in, like outer space, so like astronomy and engineering and like different things like that. Like she had other interests as well that she wanted to explore, but the entertainment path was already heavily chosen for her, so she felt like she really did not have a choice in that matter. So now let's look at elevated ancestors. Was her death sacrificial for someone or some other group's gain? Was her death, because there's a conspiracy ancestors, that she was sacrificed. Now I don't know if that's true or not, and so I don't want the conspiracy of it or the collective, what people think on a collective. I want the truth of it. Like, so like what was the layout and the design behind her passing? Was this just a freak accident, or was this intentional with the intention of sacrificing her for someone else's gain? Let's shuffle 3 more times. 3, 2, 1. 3 of Clubs, a lot of 3 energy. Well, give me a moment, y'all. Let me collect. She actually was for financial gain. And it's funny because she wasn't, I think I was maybe like, I don't know, maybe like, 5 maybe, or 6 or 7. I don't know. I can't remember which year she passed, but I know I was really young when she passed. No, I was older than 5. Yeah, I had to have been older than 5. But I know I was really young when she passed. But and I know in my family, we were fans, of her, and still are, like to this day. But she was sacrificed for financial gain. And so I'm saying what I'm saying because it's like, I don't remember her being, like this mega star, kind of like how Brandy was a mega star, you know what I'm saying? Like in the early 2000s, 90s and things like that. How Brandy was that girl, like that international girl, or like Britney Spears level of fame. Oh, speaking of which, if y'all want a reading on Britney Spears, put your questions and different things like that in the comment section for me, please. But anywho, and I'm saying that because it's like she wasn't like on that level, so I don't know like what financial gain they thought they were going to continue to get. But but with this 7 of Hearts card and this 3 of Hearts, and this 3 of Clubs, this is more so seems like a familial sacrifice. So not necessarily industry, not only, let me clear that up, not only an industry related sacrifice type thing, because I know a lot of the times people talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce and different things like that in regards to it, but here I feel like this was contrived amongst family as well, like all, of this. She was, it was like, it was, family involvement and things like that as well. Her parents, let me see, her parents? No, not her parents. I know she has a brother, and I for sure don't think it was him, but her brother? No. You know, that uncle, because she got an uncle, right? It wasn't he like, you know, like heavily involved in her career, or you know, or maybe he was the person that was stealing from her because she was having some issues with somebody misappropriating her funds and stealing from her and different things like that. But I also feel like it's probably somebody that's also not so public either, like her accountant that was but that was a person stealing money and different things like that. But I feel like her uncle is a very ruthless person, and so she was sacrificed for financial gain, and it was something that like some people or a person, a figure in her family, or a figure that was like family. No, this is blood. This is family. A figure that was family, and then also with the industry people as well, like her like some who was this take? Because it was the person I feel like that was taking money from her. And quite frankly, y'all, I know people say Jay-Z, but I'm not seeing, let me see. But I'm not seeing where he actually had that much pull and power to cause her plane to, you know, to go down and different things like that. I honestly feel like this was like her, it was a combination of all three things. Let me see. Let me get some clarity on this. Wait, it says it's clarify, you know, this, you know, this sacrifice. This. Because it's a lot, and I need clarity. It's because it's a lot going on. Like, it's a lot of different layers. Like, it's not just one layer or two layers. Like, it's multiple layers, you know, of things. So, 10 of Hearts. Oh, 10 of Hearts always speaks of magic. You know what I'm saying? Ah, yeah. Oh, wow. Whew. People can do a lot with magic. A lot can happen with magic, y'all. Understand? You watching this video, so yes, you probably do understand. But a lot can transpire. Like, people legit can take your life using magic. I don't care. You know, I don't care, you know, if you think, you know, you just, you know, the most protected person in the world. You know what I'm saying? That could very much so be the truth. But if you have, depending on what your lifestyle look like, the type of people that you hang around, the type of dealings it is that you do, what your character and things like that, you know, speaks to, because my spiritual practice speaks to character, right? And one of the sayings within my spiritual practice says that your character will always save you. So depending on your character, and character involves, you know, who you deal with, the things that it is that you do, the things that it is that you think, the things that it is that you say, you know what I'm saying? All the people you hang around, all of that, like all of that, the communities that it is that you are a part of, or the community that it is that you're creating, your character speaks to all of that. And so whenever your character is lacking, and I'm not talking about perfection. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. For some reason, whenever you talk about character, have a good character, people always think you're talking about perfection. Ain't nobody talking about perfection. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you should always strive to have good character, because your character will what? Always save you. The people that it is that you hang around will always what? Save you, depending on your character. You have to be mindful of your thoughts, your actions, your deeds. You know what I'm saying? Your energy, your vibe at all times, right? Not be perfect at it. But a lot of the times, you know, when magic can touch us in such a heavy way to the point where, it take our life, or even, to to the point where, it may cause a car accident or something like that. We, we have to look at our character, the type of people that it is that we hang around, the things that it is that we do in our day-to-day life. You know what I'm saying? The things that we do to people intentionally and especially, let me correct that. The things that we do to people unintentionally and especially the things that we do to people intentionally. We have to look at those things because those cracks in our integrity as a person and cracks in our character as a person makes it very easy for negative and adversarial forces or your enemies to touch you. Your enemies can touch you if you ain't, rubbing shoulders with them. You know what I'm saying? Your enemies can't touch you if your mind, your body, your spirit, your character is in the right place. They might, maybe scratch you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You might, get dinged up a little bit. But as far as like the loss of your life in an untimely manner, and especially in such a tragic way, things like that usually do not happen unless the person or people are, there are avenues and holes that were created, for different things, to blow and trespass against us. You know what I'm saying? And not victim blaming at all. You know what I'm saying? But with the people that it is, that she hang around, I'm sure so many of us can attest to this. I'm sure that it could be stories for days in the comment section about, people who share their stories about, how they escaped, jail or XYZ, or their finances improved, like when they stopped hanging around certain people or participating in, in certain things and stuff like that. So it's not victim blaming or anything like that. It's just more so, it's observing and taking, what do we call it? Inventory of our life so that we can make improvements, because none of us are above anything, because our character is always going to save us. A lot of things really just depends on destiny, fate, and then your character. You know what I'm saying? Like those three things, those three pillars. And a lot of the times our character can intercept fated things or even destined things. So, it's just important to always watch the company that it is that we keep, whether that's virtually, or whether that's in person. But especially in person, it's very important, to be mindful of those things, because to answer your question, subscriber that requested this reading, was she a sacrifice? Yeah, and her family and different things like that were involved in it. And it was for, financial gain. But, on the flip side, they didn't even gain that much from it, though. Like, I'm not seeing them, gaining a whole lot, like from her catalog. So this was for nothing. 4 of diamonds, 6 of spades, and the 9 of spades. Like this was for nothing. 4 of diamonds talks about them being not even that much better off in the position that they were in, before she left. And 6 of spades and the 9 of spades is also speaking to everything that it is that I really just talked about, as far as it was the company that it is that she was keeping. She was surrounded by snakes. She was surrounded by people that did not have her best interests at heart. And unfortunately, some of those people were her very own family members, people that it is that she trusted. And so it's just very important that we watch the company that it is that we keep. It's also important that we, fortify our minds and practice mindfulness and different things like that, so that we can be strong, in whatever principles that it is that we have. It's important to live a principled life, to figure out what principles align with your soul's journey and your soul's purpose, so that we can avoid, untimely demises or just misfortune, and not even just death, but just overall significant misfortune and things like that as well. But thankfully, as long as we are still here, and even after we're not here in the flesh, there is always opportunities for us to to transgress any of those things, and to always overcome. There's always opportunities and things like that for us to overcome, if not in this life, the next. So it's just important for us to make sure that we recognize those patterns and be able to progress in light and in love and in the highest truth, not our truth, but the highest truth. And that's just on period. It's so unfortunate, you know, and terrible that this happened to her, because she did not deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, well, no, because some people do deserve, you know, whatever happens to them. But this is so sad and unfortunate, because this was avoided, you know, this was avoidable. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, look at that. 10 of diamonds, 10 of spades, 9 of look, I'm saying it like y'all read the cards. But the 10 of diamonds is speaking to, yes, you know, the financial gain and the things being completed. But with the 10 of spades, you know, and the 9 of diamonds here, they didn't get a good return on it anyway. That return did not last long. It did not last for eons, you know, like they thought it would. They did not get the gain from it that they thought they would get. And the family members that I'm picking up on that did it, I feel like, for sure, I feel like it was whoever were the family members that were more closely involved in her career. But it almost was like it wasn't, you know, verbatim. Like they didn't, you know, verbally say, you know, oh, let's do this, because they didn't want that, like that karmic stripe on them. However, not stripe, that karmic strike on them for it. But it was more so like one of those things, you know, what does it, you know, what's that saying? What's understood doesn't have to be explained. It was more so like on that kind of tip, you know, that they did it and decided to proceed with it. Man, that is so sad and unfortunate, because from the time she was a child, you know, it seemed like the only person that she really had to love and confide in, you know, was her brother and a few other people I'm seeing throughout her life, you know, that she had throughout the journey. But overall, I mean, she ain't hardly have nobody, you know, to protect her. That's a very sad position to be in. So let me look at my questions. To see. Okay, so now that we're out of that energy, let's look in to see if she has reincarnated. I got my notebook here of questions and stuff. So has she reincarnated? Ancestors. Man, like y'all, that kind of messed me up a little bit. Like I wasn't really expecting that to come out. I actually didn't have any expectations for it. But OMG, like, man. So it's not a conspiracy. Like, it's a fact. And the other part of the business, it was like her record label. So like, cause I'm not saying, oh yeah, I was supposed to ask about Jay-Z. Hold on, let me pause. Let me ask about Jay-Z real quick. Was Jay-Z involved in this? I'm honestly hearing that no, he was not. It was more so the record, the record label. Like he was in cahoots and things like that, like with the record label, but he wasn't the one that, you know, that pulled the trigger and called the shots on everything. And I need to look and see like what purpose. 5 of spades. Oh, yeah, he did stab her in the back. But he wasn't the one that directly called the shots, though. Like, he was still in cahoots. So all that talk that we hear about Jay-Z, like all that stuff, I don't remember all of the rumors. I don't know of all of the rumors. But all that stuff that we do hear about, you know, him and Aaliyah's involvement in different things like that and how he did her, that is true with the 5 of spades. Because they're speaking to stabbing her, you know, in the back. And different things like, yeah, that stuff is true. That stuff is true. Whatever it is that you didn't heard, or whatever the main narrative is of it, put it down in the comment section for me. But whatever that is true. That is a fact. That is a fact. But it was more so her record label and things like that as well. Or record labels. I feel like, was she like in between contracts or something like that? Put it in the comment section below. Or was she thinking about maybe going to another record label? Put that in the comment section below. I can't remember. But I feel like, yeah, she was thinking about going to like another label. Or she was in between contracts and different things like that. or she was getting ready to finish this contract and she was gonna pause and go ahead and like and do other passion projects and pursuits and things like that that she had. But yep, he was involved. He was involved. The record label or somebody else that's more powerful than him had a bigger role in it though. Like he was just like the public face for, for her sacrifice in her passing. But it's this other person that is more powerful than him that actually had the largest hand and things like that in the dealings. But he did betray her in some way in relation to that. I feel like he betrayed her because they were supposed to be going into business together, doing some type of business together, but then he reneged on it and broke some type of promise or something like that to her. And it just came to me. He did that because he already knew of this plan to kill her behind the scenes. It just can't, like, that's literally what so that's what had happened. He had backed off from it. So he was already aware of what was going to be happening, what was going to be going on. And so he just kind of almost like took the blame for it. But he also didn't warn her either. So I'm feeling like in the afterlife, she felt some type of betrayal in that regard. In that regard by him. Wait a minute, I almost need a break. Goodness a piece. Like, that's some heavy shit. Damn. Excuse my language. So let's look at, let me see, has she reincarnated? Oh. 3, 2, 1. King of Spades, King of Hearts, and 7 of Spades. No, she has not reincarnated. To answer the person that asked me that question, no, she has not reincarnated. Oh my dear. I feel like, if nobody in her family practices ancestral veneration, they about need to start, because enlighten some candles and things like that for her to just elevate her spirit and to elevate her soul. I'm not seeing that she is in a a heavy or dark place, but the energy around her and that healing process is very difficult. I feel like this is about to give me chills. I don't like this feeling that I'm getting. Hold on, let me collect myself, because she's still being heavily manipulated in even the afterlife, like not her entire soul, like not her entire essence, but like certain fabrics and and points of her essence. Like she's still looking to retrieve all of her or something like that. Like it's still like some healing and some more coming together of her spiritually, that needs to take place. There's some more evolution on her part that needs to take place. But she will, though. She's going to be able to get to that point. And she will. Yeah, she will be able to, with the 6 of Hearts, the 10 of Diamonds, and the 2 of Clubs. It's like this part is not even just this life. Like I feel like it's previous lives and things like that she had, where where she's been through something similar. You know what I'm saying? Like something just as dreadful as she experienced in the life that we know her as, Aaliyah. But there's this, but like, this is what I'm seeing, like this portion of her, like a little small portion of her, but then like this other large portion of her is healed, but it's like this like little fragment that's having a hard time being reconciled and like fully healed and implemented and integrated and things like that. But she is going to reincarnate, and she is eventually like going to, you know, evolve and, you know, and heal from those things. So let me see if I can even ask the other questions on my list with that. So I do want to see, oh well, yeah, I can, because the larger part of her essence is healed and integrated. It's just this smaller fabric that still needs some healing over here. Okay, so I can proceed and ask these questions. So let me see. So I'm going to answer how, what does she think about the industry? What does Aaliyah think about the industry now? Does she have any thoughts about it? 3. I knew this was going to be a long read. I don't even know how long. 3, 2, 1. How does she feel about personality? Queen of Diamonds, 5 of Diamonds, and the Jack of Spades. Out of sight, out of mind. She really doesn't think anything of it. She looks at it just as she did when she was in it, a seedy and dark place. But also at the same time, she is on the flip side, she's looking at it as though it still does not have to be that way. Like people can still, you know, have whatever fame and fortune, different things like that, you know, that it is that they want to accumulate. It does not have to include all of that other crazy stuff, you know, that goes on. But she doesn't really think about it. Yeah, she don't even really think about it. Like but that's kind of like the energy that it is that she's in. Let me go ahead and ask the next question. So, this one seems a little bit invasive. Let me see. I mean, well, reading period is invasive. So, I'll go ahead and ask it. Okay, let's just, how was her life review? How was her end of life review? Yeah, that's too personal. They just said that's a little bit too personal. So to the person that asked me to ask that, too personal. All right, so everybody says, what is something that she wants people to ask about her that they usually don't? What is something that people ask about her? I mean, what is something that she wants people to ask about her that they usually don't? Or what is something that she would like to reveal that people don't usually ask about? One more time. Okay. Queen of Clubs, her work ethic, Ace of Spades, 10 of Diamonds. She really doesn't really care to be bothered like that on the other side. Yeah, like she really doesn't even care like to be bothered. But she doesn't like questions surrounding, you know, her death and things like that either. They more so, the questions that it is that she would, I guess, prefer, I mean, she really don't like to be bothered. But if they were going to talk about her, if we are going to talk about her, she does prefer for people to talk about the good things and different things like that. But she prefers, she does prefer on the other side, you know, like, you know, privacy and different things like that. Like she really doesn't want to be disturbed with the rigmarole, you know what I'm saying, of things. So the 10 of Diamonds speak to, you know, fame and public humiliation and different things like that. So she really does not like, she doesn't like that when people are salacious, you know, and stuff like that. About her, or when they try to blame her for she has like a lot of shame. In particular, I feel like around the R. Kelly situation, when it comes to her death and things. She doesn't really like the whole, she rathers the truth, you know what I'm saying, be revealed. Because we have the Queen of Clubs, the Ace of Spades, and the 10 of Diamonds down. So when it comes to her death, she rather people talk about the truth and not just talk about bullshit, you know what I'm saying, basically. And then also I feel like that she has a lot of shame surrounding her childhood and things dealing with her family. And then also in regards to the R. Kelly situation, I'm feeling like that part of her is what's struggling to heal on the other side. But then also there's some spiritual torment and different things like that going on as well. Not with the wholeness of her. The big portion of her has healed, right, and is moving on, but there's still like a small portion that needs some light, that needs elevation and some more reconciliation and healing and things like that to take place so that she can be joined as one. And I do, like I said, actually see that happening for her very soon if it has not happened already. And I feel like after a while, for any people that do try to contact her, like as far as mediumship, I don't see her actually responding to anything. Yeah, I really don't see her responding to anything after a while. Partially because she will be reincarnated, but then also because she wants to leave certain things in this life behind, like the darkness of this life behind that she has. That's what I'm picking up on. Well, I don't even think we need to. I had 2 other questions, but with that being said, I don't think I was gonna ask for some words of wisdom, but I feel like those are the words of wisdom right there. Yeah, those are the words of wisdom right there. Really, her entire reading was, words to the wise, and experience, to the wise is such a hard lesson, I don't even want to use the word lesson, but just like a hard reckoning, to reconcile with. It's just so much misfortune, but the message that it is that I want to leave y'all here with, that I spoke about earlier, is to just mind yourself and to mind the company that it is that you keep. Mind the things that it is, that you say about people, whether you say those things, keep them to yourself, or, or whether you, say those things, out loud about people. And that goes for me too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not absent, from the wisdom, and the, and the truth reveal of her, of her reading and different things like that. But, take inventory, of your life. Take inventory of the people that it is that you lay next to, the people that it is that you have, in your circle, whether that be family and friends. Are these people that you feel as though you can trust? You know what I'm saying? Pray, for wisdom, pray for discernment, and pray for the blindfolds, to be taken off, of your eyes, off of your spiritual eyes, so that you can see the truth, of your life and move, in accordance, with your soul's journey, your soul's higher purpose, or move in accordance in however, way you want to move. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, if y'all are interested in booking a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you to my subscriber Spirit Rodeo for suggesting this reading. Yeah, I feel like that's everything. So I will either see y'all in my next video, or I will see you on my calendar. Make good choices. Peace and protection to all of you who wish me the same. Have a good one. Bye-bye.